It's our date on this live, Artie Lange updates, Jackie Martling Beetlejuice, and all kinds of other fun stuff. If you're watching live, this group over here, when I look over here, we're talking about the live folks. When I look over here, this is the recorded version. So if you want to be part of the live version, we do this at 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern, trying to do it daily. And we've got people already in. I'm going to adjust this again. Oh, by the way, I got my Hey Now shirt on in case you haven't seen. I do sell shirts. You can see that in the description. Crying Raymond Pissy. He was waiting for this to start. I had one person waiting, and I was excited to get started for him. So thank you, Crying. And let's see who else. Charlie Don't Surf says, good day. Hello. Hello, Misha. F Shopes, we need Sal Governale news. I don't know if I have any. Is there news to be told about Sal? Are we rolling it? Okay, we are rolling over there. I got the glasses on. I can barely see, but I'm trying everything. But hello and welcome to Howard Stern on this date. As always, thank you for joining live. As we talked about earlier, we'll do a little on this date. We'll look back at some moments on the show that happened on this very date. And I did post that this day, one of these years, has one of my most favorite moments in show history. And I teased it with Scott the Engineer. So it's going to be obvious. Maybe it's obvious, maybe it's not. There's only, 2 or 3 big ones, but this one's one of my favorites. We'll get to that in a moment. But please comment along because I will stop and just read what's happening in the comments. We get a community going here. And also want to thank Simply Safe. Of course, Simply Safe is a product that I've tagged, and I use it here at my house. Very easy to set up. It's a security system, but you can watch your dog from wherever you're at. It's got cameras and all kinds of things. Check out my products. I've got some Howard Stern related products in there as well, and plus my products. Hey now, we've got super chats and memberships. I've got folks coming in and doing the super chats, so I'll remind you to do that again. All this information is in the description. So let's talk about real quick on this date. We start with a little pop culture sometimes. Just get us in the mood and get people that aren't Stern fans, or if the Stern fans are coming in, we want them to hear all this wonderful banter. No, I don't have any Sal Governale news. 1985 number one song on this date was "Can't Fight This Feeling" by REO Speedwagon. This was their third week at number one on the charts. They knocked off Wham! And Careless Whisper. Number one on this date this week in 1982, Journey. Open Arms. So we had the soft rockers were leading us here. 1986, number one on this date. We mentioned this last week. Actually, bumping Mr. off the charts. Another rock band, but they weren't doing rock at this time. It was Jefferson Starship and Sarah. Terrible song. I don't know. Did you like that? I didn't like that song. All right. Let's do 1988. Oh my goodness, 1988. Knocking George Michael off the charts on this date and going to number one. His only number one, Rick Astley, Never Gonna Give You Up, Never Gonna Let You Down. I might have to Rickroll you folks here at some point. Let's talk about what happened on this. Oh, by the way, happy birthdays. So we do birthdays. It is Ron Jeremy's birthday. So happy birthday to Ron Jeremy. I don't remember how old he is. James Taylor, birthday today, born in 1948. Mitt Romney, born in 1947. And Liza Minnelli, born in 1946. Crying Ryman says, Ross Dog's Broken Spirit told me about your stream. I thank you, and that is something I want to remind you. Tell other folks about this stream. Subscribe. We are at 14,985 subscribers. We got to get to 15,000. And with the live stream and the folks telling people about this, I'm going to have to go out and tell the Reddit community, hey, come on over. We're having fun. We're going to, Howard's not on. I am. And we're talking about the show. And we're talking about the good stuff that happened on the show. Happy birthday to Liza, Mitt Romney, and James Taylor. Let's see. On this date in 2003, how about this one? The World Health Organization issued a worldwide health alert, one of the first in a decade, regarding an illness it later called SARS. It struck hundreds of people in China, Hong Kong, and Vietnam, but luckily did not get over here, seemingly. So, again, comment away. We're going to get to my favorite moment in the show. Oh, by the way, hey now, this is a shirt that I created myself, and you can get just by going in the description and then going to my shirt shop. So hopefully you are in there. But once again, hopefully we need people to kind of get going here and talk to us. As you watch this live, I will talk with our commenters. And then if you're watching this on tape, that's who I'm talking to when I stop down and look. But let's just look back at some moments on this date in Howard Stern history as we're 6 minutes in. Again, Simply Safe. Take a look at that product that I have going on my products. On Tuesday, March 12th, on this date, 2019, Howard announces, it's a big announcement, he's doing another book. So this was Howard Stern Comes Again. And this wasn't really a book, was it? It was just sort of him doing transcripts of interviews. So not really a book, but they put out a book, and he announced it at this time. It's starting at 7 a.m. too, so I can't remember when they started later in the day. Nothing else. Mehmet's insane billboard idea. Again, I'm going backwards this time because the shows get better as we go further away. I believe March 12, 2019 was the last time there was a live show for the Stern Show, so that was March 12, 2019. March 12, 2014, we talk about Gary's birthday celebration. We talk about Twitter discussions and Ronnie's biopsy. Ronnie's hair versus John Lieberman's hair. Hansi calls in. A few minutes with King of All Blacks. Sounds like 2014. We're going backwards still with the show. Again, comment away if you have anything you'd like to say here on the show as we do Howard Stern on this date. March 12th, 2013. We had some various news stories discussed, but the big news of the day was the AGT discussion ban had been lifted by Howard. So they were going to talk about America's Got Talent. So thankfully that we got that ban lifted and we could hear more about Howard's America's Got Talent. This was a time period I was not listening and was not a fan of America's Got Talent. I still am not. And so that's that. They talked about Sam Simon's cancer diagnosis. Bigfoot was on John Lieberman Live at 5. Howard is now sick of Ronnie's block party. So again, this is March 12, 2013, but now we're talking about Ronnie's block party. Benji did some street interviews. So March 12, 2013, probably won't be heard on Master Tape Theater. Is Master Tape Theater even a thing anymore? I don't know. So if you're coming into the live stream here, we're doing Howard Stern live on this date. So what we're doing is we're looking back at moments. Thanks to Mark Friggin, I have to always say, this is where I compile the material for the show. We look back at moments from the show and we read them here. And then we discuss if there's anything you guys want to discuss. Happy Tuesday to you. March 12, 2013, Eric the actor hangs up, Johnny Fratto snores. So let's just read this. This is again from March 12, 2013. Howard says he has to take a break. He sees that Eric the actor's on the line. He said he doesn't have time for him. He says he got a ton of tape to get to, so maybe he'll take him to the homosexual room. I don't remember that. Howard picked up and Eric made some noise and then hung up. Gary said that he had a big announcement to make, so it's kind of funny that he hung up. Howard said the only phone working is the one in the homosexual room. So we come back, and the big news was Eric was changing his name back to Eric the Midget. This was on March 12, 2013. Big news on the show. Again, if you're joining us, please comment, and we'll get to your comments here. Got more people coming into the room now. Once again, we're doing Howard Stern live on this date. We look back at moments from the show, and we're looking back at March 12, 2013. Eric the actor changing his name back to Eric the Midget. All right, March 12th, 2012. Howard was in St. Louis doing America's Got Talent. So he mentioned that and talked about how he didn't leave his room. Probably a good idea. It's a little scary sometimes in downtown St. Louis. I think that's where he was. And his daughter went to school here, so he was in town a lot more. Would have loved to have run into the big man. Did not see him. But that's what's going on March 12, 2012 to start the show. A lot of AGT talk, a lot of Howie Mandel talk. And but again, coming up, one of my favorite moments from the show ever happened on this date. So I want you all to come in. Let's all discuss this moment together. Need you to come in. Everybody's welcome. Tell your friends we're going live here. Artie Lange, there will be some Artie Lange discussion coming up. I promise you. Thank you, Crying Raymond Pissy, for asking that question. There will be some Artie Lange discussion coming up. And there will be some updates coming through in a couple weeks here, I think. On March 12, 2012, Mary McCormick visited, and more AGT talk. March 12, 2009, on this date, Howard Stern. I feel like I need to take a break from the Stern stuff. We don't have, we had a big crew here yesterday. Kind of sad. I mean, I appreciate Misha for being here, and F. Shopes, and Crying Raymond Pissy. Oh, Cryman, that's not true. I'm going to give an update. Crying is now not happy with me, I think he said. Clickbait. I don't believe this is clickbait. We've got folks coming in. March 12, 2009. Howard is still consumed with the K-Rock format change. So this was what Howard was talking about on March 12, 2009. Now FM was what they were changing over to. and that's what he talked about. We had some moments with Gary the Conqueror. Robin and Tim Sabian's weekend was discussed, so that was part of it. And crying is pissy. Why are you pissy, crying? Now he's not happy. Yes, I know. We've been getting updates from other people who know Artie. Lisa G's Howard 100 news preview. This was March 2nd, 2009. Not much going on. Oh, Jay Leno is an asshole, Howard said at this point. March 12th, 2008, we have the Governor Spitzer scandal. We're still talking about that on the show. Howard's annoyed by paparazzi. How many Springsteen concerts is too many? I went to one, and that was probably too many. Anybody go to Springsteen out there? Not a big fan. We'll continue. We had some Riley Martin show clips. The comedian Gallagher showed up. Sparky's up there barking. Of course, there's always noise right at this time. Always some noise. I guess I'm gonna back the time up on this thing because we do not have the crowd that I was expecting today. But hey, that's fine. That happens. Brett Favre crying clips were played on March 12th, 2008. So again, we're looking back at March 12th on this date. What was going on the Howard Stern show? Since he doesn't do shows on this date, we look back at some of the great moments on this date. And that's what we're doing here today. We had Jackie the Joke Man movie clips, and comedian Doug Stanhope visited. Was there anybody out there, Doug Stanhope fans? Anybody? I didn't. He was with Bango. But I was not a huge fan of when he came on. March 12th, 2007, we had Richard Jenny's death discussed. So that happened on this date back in March 12th, 2007. JD the Badass. So JD was calling himself the Badass, and we had that coming up on March 12th, 2007. And then Roseanne Barr visited. So right now we'll take a second just to say thank you for coming in the live stream. And once again, you're watching. If you're here live, of course you know you're here live. If you're watching on tape, I'm looking at you folks over here. We do this every day. I'm gonna move it back maybe. We'll see. Maybe we need people to get off work and come join us. Maybe we'll try it later at night. I don't know. But for this week, let's try this time, and then we'll back it up next week. How about that? That's a good. I think that's a good compromise. March 12th, 2007. March 12th, 2004. So this is an interesting day in the show. The Mark's Friggin' headline was, "Has Howard Given Up?" First thing this morning, the show opened up to the usual theme song, but then went right into a Metallica song, No Howard. Yesterday, the House passed a ridiculous new bill that raises indecency fines, and Howard didn't speak, but they did play some clips of people talking about Howard and the indecency stuff that's going on. After that, they played Korn. They played some old news clips. 15 minutes into the show, still no one had spoken. They were just playing clips. They played Creedence Clearwater Revival's Fortunate Son. So this is March 10, 2004. FCC giving Howard some issues here. And so that's what happened on March 12, 2004. Let's see, played Bob Marley. Some more clips. This went on for the first hour of March 12th, and finally broke his silence at 7:20 in the morning. He said he's seen the end of free speech when the indecency bill was signed yesterday. So now he was talking about moving on to satellite radio. So again, if you have any comments about March 12, 2004, that's what happened. March 12, 2003. This is a good day in show history. Artie went to the AC/DC show. He was a little torn up from being there, evidently, so they talked about that happening. And then at 8:30 a.m. on March 12, 2003, here's the headline Mark's friggin' used. The ultimate pay-per-view event ever? Let's see here. When Howard came back from break, he read some emails. All right, we got that. So they were talking to Scott. Scott the engineer came in, and Casey reminded Howard of a game they had to play. Howard had a guy on the phone, so he told him about the game. Casey said there's this porn star by the name of Michael J. Cox who was writing a book about having sex with straight guys. He made an offer to any straight guy who wanted to have sex with him. He said he'd give that person $250,000. So the guys decided to ask some people if they'd be willing to do that for that amount of money. So this is Casey's game that he played. One of those people was Scott the engineer. Of course he wouldn't do this, right? So at first Scott says, quote, "You have to be kidding," but soon says that he would take it up he would do anal for $250,000. So the guy on the phone didn't get the right answer. They had a couple other people say that played the game. So that's what happened on this date. I'm going to go ahead and close this one down early today. Let's see. Do you follow any of the Howard Stern alums like Bob Levy and Shuli? Yes, I check that out every once in a while. I don't listen to it a lot, but I know what they're up to, so yes. Again, so this was the date I was talking about, March 12th, 2003. Scott mentioning that he would, so I'm going to keep reading from Mark's friggin' because this is too funny not to continue to talk about. So, let's see. Howard spent a couple minutes goofing on Tom, then started talking to Scott, the engineer, about the sex thing, whether he is serious about it or not. Scott said he would do it right there in the studio if they came up with the money. Remember, he goes, I'll do it right there on the floor. Hello, and welcome, Tommy and Judy. Thank you for coming. Hello, Vitali, Chernobyl. So what we do here is we look at some moments from the show, we discuss them, and then I talk to commenters and see if they have anything to say about the show. So we're talking about March 12th, 2003, this date in Howard Stern history. Scott, the engineer, agrees to have anal sex. This gets funnier and funnier. I don't know if you ever heard this. So Scott has agreed to do this. Howard took this as a challenge, saying that he would do it right on the floor, and started talking about doing this as a pay-per-view event surrounding the comp set. He said he could find a guy who ran... They'll find a guy who will ramp Scott in the butt. Howard spent a couple more minutes goofing on Tom. All right, I just read that. Tom was not excited about this event and and Howard said Tom is prejudiced against gay people. Stuttering John wondered who gets to pick the guy who's going to bang Scott. Howard said that'll be part of the special. The first part of the show will be them picking out the guy. Artie said he has 2 words for them: Mark Harris. Howard asked Scott if he thought his wife would let him do it, and no one else thought she would. Fred played some Mark Harris music clips and then played the Gold Dust clips along with this. I believe this, and then they came up with American Anal was the name of it. Hello there, Alucard. Welcome to our folks watching here live. Again, people coming into the room as we're doing Howard Stern live on this date, and I am recapping March 12th, 2003. Scott the engineer agrees to take anal on this day, and how this show is one of my all-time favorites because it was nuts. Vinny Favale called in and said he could make this happen on DirecTV with 1 phone call. Howard told him go ahead and do that, get that set up. Howard was still thinking that Scott's wife would not allow this. Scott said he's already a laughing stock, so it doesn't make any difference. Callers started calling in, offering that they would be able to do this for Scott. Hello, American. What are these names? Get someone in the Stern world to comment on what a mess Stuttering John is. Well, I mean, that's obvious. Haven't we seen that already? I mean, you could see that on the Shuli channel. But yeah, so I will do that. Who was the last one? Jackie did that on my last clip. If you go look at Jackie. Again, welcome everybody. I'll start over and just talk about, we got the shirt on here, so go to my description page and then go to get some super thanks and join the membership, and all the stuff in the description can tell you everything that goes on in this show. We're looking for subscribers. We want you to comment, and we're going to have a community here of folks talking about the Stern Show. So, anybody remember this show, by the way? So this was I don't know. This one always made me laugh. It was when they started talking about calling it American Anal. Thank you, Cryan Ryan. Hit the like button, everyone, he says. So Cryan's here and helping out. So at 10:05, they continued. Howard said he ran into Paulie. I don't want to read that part. Howard got back to Scott, the engineer, and talked about how his wife probably won't let him do this ass ramming thing. Howard and guys talked about whatever Scott is. Scott's wife, Robin, called in to talk about this. She didn't know what was going on, so Howard explained it to her. When she heard the dollar amount, she said she didn't have a problem with it. She said the money goes right into her pocket when she gets it. She said if you asked her ever to go for hemorrhoid surgery, she won't be there for him. Howard then asked if Scott was in. Scott said he was in and ready to do this. Howard said he'd make some phone calls and he'll get back to Scott by Friday. The guys asked Scott, how much more money would it take to do this bareback? Scott said the other guy has to wear a condom. He's not going to let them go in without one. March 12th, 2003. One of my favorite moments on the show. I'm not doing this justice. This went on for hours, and they couldn't believe Scott was going to do this. And they talked about doing it at a giant stadium with 80,000 people. So come tomorrow, and we'll give you the update of what happened with this. Clearly, it didn't happen, but it was still possibly going to happen. So this Tomorrow we'll be doing March 13th on this date. March 12th, 2002. Not much happening there. They had the Wheel of Fish with Eric. I did not enjoy this whatsoever. I wasn't a huge Eric fan. I thought this was fake. I didn't think Eric was really afraid of fish. I think he was just trying to be on the show. I had other people come on this program and tell me the same thing. So, yes, that's what happened on March 12th, 2002. March 12th, 2001, first time Ron Zimmerman sits in. So Jackie has left the show, and now we've got folks auditioning, and Ron Zimmerman is the first one to audition. And that is the last moment I have from the show on this date. So that will probably conclude today's edition because not as many folks as usual, which is fine. Hey, I do this for you. If we get a big crowd, we get a big crowd and we talk. If we don't, we don't, and that's fine. But I appreciate everybody coming in. If there's any other questions that you have, we've gone through some of the, again, it's happy birthday, James Taylor, and Ron Jeremy, and Liza Minnelli, and Mitt Romney. Birthdays on this day. Jamie Locke was a good show in its day. Yeah, it was. Jamie says, hello, Jamie. People commenting here on the live feed. If you're watching over here, again, I do this live. May push back the time just to see if that helps folks because it seems like the longer we go, the more people come in. So maybe this time's a little too early in the day. We'll see. Thank you. Appreciate that. I can't read these names. They're so bunched up. American in Denmark. Okay. He hit the like button. Thank you. Dan the Song Parody Man. So we talked about that. I've got emails. I've talked to Dan the Song Parody Man. I've tried to get him on this program. I believe he still does stuff with the Stern Show, and I believe that folks that still do things with the Stern Show just aren't interested in coming here. Craig Gass was a guest many, many times. And then now he's back. He's on the show. He does things. So we don't get Craig on this show, but that's... But I would like to hear if there's any other names. Trust me, I've reached out to as many folks as humanly possible. I'm going to go back here to the comments and read from the live feed. So this is what you can do if you're part of the live feed. Jamie writes, Howard has changed so much, probably a sign of the times. Like when I was at school and I got in trouble, I got the cane. Thank you. I did try to get Dan, that's right. So appreciate you asking about Dan the Song Parody Man. I believe when I tried to get him, he was 50-50 on coming in, and then I think his father had some health issues, and then he had to go down to Florida, and that was kind of the last. You know what? I'm going to reach out to him again. That name has come up a lot during this live feed chat, so maybe we'll try to get Dan the Song Parody Man on here. Anybody else that you're interested in hearing from? Again, this is what I do. This is the channel. Reminds me to tell you, if you're a baseball fan, you like St. Louis baseball, check out my companion channel. Just search Here's the Pitch with Brad. Very easy, right? It's also in the description, so hopefully you're into that. Jamie, was Iron Sheik really like that, or did Howard have to tell him to act crazy? I'm fairly certain he was like that, but isn't there a biography on A&E? Maybe I'll go watch that. A request from one of the commenters here, Cryan Raymond, who was actually waiting. So thank you, Cryan. I appreciate that. Jeff the Drunk. I have contacted Jeff the Drunk. He said no. Quickly, but he said no. I don't know why, but I was interested in having him on, and he just said, not interested. Not today. So no Jeff the Drunk. Gary, have I reached out to Gary the Conqueror? I can't remember if I did or not. Part of me wondered if that would be a good idea to have him on. Now, by the way, I had a lot of discussion today in the comments from throughout the other shows. Sour Shoes couldn't hook up the phone, but he left me a bunch of voicemails, and I'm going to work on getting Sour Shoes on this program. I love Sour Shoes. If you go back and look, you have to take a listen. And here's Kevin. Who is the bassist from Oasis? I don't know the answer to that. Does anyone know the answer to that? Yeah, no, Cryan Raymond. So he says, I'm shocked that Jeff would not want to come on. I was a smidge shocked too. You think he would just kind of do anything, but I think he's very loyal to Howard. Janine asked about Yucko the Clown. Now this comes up every time we do a live show, and I will talk about Yucko once again. I have requested Yucko through his manager. He actually has a real manager. And I don't know if you guys know what Yucko's up to, but he's a voice of a show on Netflix, an animated show. And so I thought we were going to get him on. We were going to promote that. And then the show got pushed back, and his manager kept saying, oh, no. And he wanted to do it with his partner, which I was fine with, because then we were just going to talk to Yucko anyway. And then it got radio silent. So no discussing anything with Yucko anymore. So I was rough. I was kind of angry about that. Kevin, are you just quoting? We've got folks in here quoting. I don't know what Kevin's even talking about. I'm not going to read that because I don't even know what that means. But thank you for coming. I appreciate that. All right, Yucko's ex-wife. I haven't tried that, so maybe we'll see if we can get her on the show. Again, I'm doing questions from the audience now to see what's going on. Yucko's wife, Nicole, with a question mark. Again, yeah, I don't know how to get a hold of her. But we'll see. Again, I'm always up for whoever we're interested in hearing from. But no, I've not heard from Yucko or his wife. So that's that. Tee it high and let it fly, Kevin says, as I read through the comments. Again, I'll run back through just a couple things that happened on this date. Although it seems like you're more interested, which is fine, that we can just talk and have question time here. We went through kind of some of the things that happened on this date. This was the first day back in 2001 that Ron Zimmerman was on the show. I'm very torn by what's going on in the comments. Come live to see what happens in the comments. It's quite a fun time. Elegant Elliot Offen, that's right. I have no contact for him. I know folks said that Steve Grillo does, but I don't know how to get in hold with Elliot. I would like to have him on. He's interesting. What is he? By the way, he, she? Is he? What is that? I don't know. I seriously don't. I don't know what he calls them. I see. I don't even know what to say. Contact Grillo to find out about Elliot. Okay, you guys really want me to get Elliot on? Grillo has also been avoiding. Although I had Grillo on 2-3 years ago. I did try to get him back on, and he was seemingly not interested. His Twitter has gone a little weird and strange, so I'm hoping Grillo's okay. Although he was just on, what was he on? What was that show on Vice? Dark Side of the 2000s, maybe? And they did did you guys see that? The Howard Stern just takedown. Grillo had Elliot on his show so many times a few years ago. So yeah, I guess I could check that out. I wonder what happened to Grillo, why he stopped doing this. I thought he had kind of a following. People were coming in and seeing him. Greg Fitzsimmons would have some cool stories. Greg Fitzsimmons has been on this program, so if you take a look back in the search and take a look, I've had Greg on here, and he wasn't that great, I gotta be honest. I think I don't know what was going on with him, but seemingly was not giving up any real information on anything. Grillo seemed to be dating the girl, Grillo seemed to be doing with, I can't even read what you said there. That is not a sentence. I'm like Ron Bergen here, trying to read here, but I can't read. What else did we talk about on this date? We did the Scout the Engineer. So to recap, Grillo ruined an interview with Jessica Hahn because Grillo kept talking about himself. Yes, that seems very Grillo-esque. Actually, I've thought about having Jessica Hahn on the show, but I've never contacted her. I don't have a contact for her. So maybe Jessica Hahn would be fun. How old is she? I wonder. Should we look it up? I don't know. I have no good devices to look things up. You want to see me get Jessica Hahn? Okay, let's see. Let's see how old she is but my iPad is so bad and my eyes are so bad. Again, if you're looking into the products, I just like to mention that Simply Safe is a product that I have tagged here. Not a sponsor. I use them, and would love it if you go use them by clicking the products. Wow, it's so blurry without the glasses. I don't know how I did this without the glasses. She was born July 7th, 1959. What's the math on that? Well, let's say 64 years old, it says. Jessica Hahn, 64. Okay, well, we'll see. We'll see if Jessica Hahn wants. Jessica, you watch? Come on in. Okay. All right, we have been going a half hour. I had some folks waiting. I appreciate that. Ask Jessica about the KC and hot tub. Okay, did she do something with Casey? I don't remember that. I gotta get Casey on. I'm gonna text. That's who I'm gonna text when we're done here today and see what Casey's up to, because he's been on, and it's time for him to come back on. All right, we're getting close to the end here. So we did some on this date. We looked at some music from this date. We'll do some sports on this date if you guys are sports fans, or I'll do that on the other channel, and we'll see if we can get another following going over there, youtube.com, and my other channel is Here's the Pitch with Brad. You can just search that. Casey supposedly gave Jessica a watch that was given to him by Howard. Is that true? I thought that was a stripper story, and it was not KC. I thought Howard gave something to a stripper. Okay, well, Crying Raymond believes that's what happened, so we will take that. Hello, Oxy. I'm Brad. I do a podcast here. We look back at Stern stuff, interview former Stern staffers that want to talk about the show, and then we go live. We do that. Who are you, Oxy? Got someone asking who I am, so I gotta say hello. All right, I'll look that up. He said, I wish I could find that for you. He was looking for the KC bit. All right, so we're going to try this again the next couple days at this time. Might back it up. I might back it up next week and see if that's a better time. Casey was outing all of this dirt on Jessica when she told Howard about the watch. Okay, well, hey. Okay, hello? Oh, hello, Oxy. You're subbing, and you will stay tuned. We'll see, we have folks that want to watch, so now I feel like I have to stay on. I had nothing else left to say. Are you aware that you look a bit like Norm? You know, I've been told this. I've been told that I look like Norm Macdonald. I don't know if that's good or bad. I was told that in college, and I didn't believe it. I had these girls behind me. Hey, Norm. They would call me Norm. The views are going up. Thank you. I know. I see that. So, appreciate that. Norm was hot. Okay, well, I'm sad. I got sad when Norm passed. One of my all-time favorites. No one like him. And, yeah, Norm's a legend. So, I'm not, but Norm was. I don't see it, though. I mean, what, dark hair, dark eyebrows? Is that it? And Norm didn't wear glasses. Although I don't wear glasses. I don't know, what am I doing? But I can't see. I tried this a couple weeks ago, and I couldn't see what folks were saying in the live chat. So again, if you're watching not live, this is what we do. We look back at some moments in the Stern Show, and then we just have a chat. Let's see. Wish him and Artie had done a podcast or a radio show. I don't know about that. That would have been interesting. I'm an Artie fan, although his podcast, I like him when he's being interviewed, I think is better. I don't think it's as fun when he's hosting. Again, let's hope Artie's coming back here. I think in a couple months, we're going to hear from Artie. He'll be back with a vengeance with a podcast, and hopefully he'll be here on this program. I don't know. Artie, you watching? You know, we always talk about you. You are watching from New Zealand, down from the bottom of the world. So we've got someone from Denmark, and we've got someone from New Zealand. This is quite amazing. I'm interested in the fact that you guys are fans of the Stern Show. I'm guessing that he transcends countries, and I guess everyone speaks English in those countries. I've been looking at Denmark as somewhere to move for the end of my life. It seems like a nice place, very nice people. I'm guessing New Zealand's the same way. Let's see. Ryan, yo, what's up? He says, listen, man, I'm not going to make it today. I'm sick as a dog. Hey, listen, man, I'm not going to make it in today. I'm sick as a dog. I got a fever. Yes, I remember that. So, I'm not going to make it in if I can get through this. But yeah. I'm sorry, man. Just play it on the air. It was Artie's voicemail was wonderful. Hello, Tommy and Judy. Oh, that's right. You've talked before. Favorite Artie moments? You guys have any? Let's see. I found the sleeping hilarious. I think that was think it was pretty we just let him go to bed, and then they put the microphone on his face. And I found Artie to be funnier before all that. Let's see. New Zealand has 5 million people, very chill and beautiful beaches and cheap houses. You would love it. All right, I'll look into it. I'm ready to get out of here. Do you ever get tired of talking about Stern? Bill says. Hello, Bill. Do I know you, Bill? I do get tired of it. I got to be honest. Yeah, I do. But we got a channel here. We got people who want to see it and talk about it, so that's what we're doing here. Thank you. Michael, hello. Artie and Gilbert, that's your favorite. All right. I was listening to Artie versus Dice today. That's pretty good thing there. Klaus, hello. Been listening to Stern since 2000. Was listening through Winamp back then. I remember that. Yeah. Remember you had to like download from, what was the one I was using? It was something else. Oh, not Shazam. What was it? Shazam? Was there a Shazam? Like an illegal downloading thing? So are you going to do on this day the whole Stern catalog or Jackie years, etc.? So what we do here is I look at marksfriggin.com, the Bible of recaps of the Stern show, and I pick out basically every day that he was on during the days that Mark Friggin has cataloged, and then we read and we take a look back at some of the great moments. Today, of course, I was excited. No one else was as excited for me as I was to talk about Scott the Engineer, but that was one of my favorite moments, because he said he was going to just write things like, I'll do it right on the floor. He's nuts. I love him. I got to get him on here. I have his phone number. Hi, Bill. No, I don't know you, but I was a huge fan up until he went all PC, and then I stopped listening. When was that? When do you consider him going all PC? We've had this debate here in the chats, and I stopped listening in 2009 after Artie, right at the end of 2009. As soon as Artie was no longer on the show, I stopped listening because I couldn't imagine the show without his voice on it. So I consider 2009 the end of the Stern show. I know there was still some good stuff in the 2010, 2011 area, but yesterday we were talking about this in the MARCI. So 2013 is when MARCI comes in. He does the summit, and then the show just completely takes a left turn. They get rid of the E show, the E guys, or Howard and Demand guys. It would be great to get Corey Feldman to talk about his breakup with Stern. I have reached out to Corey Feldman, and no response on that. Jamie says 2008 is when it went all PC. I don't know if it was that far back. Okay, Brian's now I got it. I got as much hair as a rock. I'm still Scott from the block. All right. MARCI, yes, that's when that happened. Best Artie moment, making J.J. Abrams laugh until he cried. Okay. Klaus, Howard Stern makes me think there's hope in America. Voice of reason, Howard is. This is the commenters coming in strong now as we've asked a question to get them going. So I appreciate folks coming in. I was going to close down, but we're having fun, right? We're all here talking and enjoying each other's company. How is Beetlejuice doing? Is he still alive? Bill asks, and I believe he is. He's got a Twitter page. I had his manager on here about a year and a half ago, and Beat was going strong from what I knew back then. He wasn't for a while. He was not feeling well. Diabetes, I think runs in his family, and so I think he battles with that. But I believe I shouldn't say right now because I don't know, but I know that about a year ago he was good. Stuttering John, hello, Crawl. Got a new commenter in there. Yep, it keeps growing, crying. You were the first one. You were waiting, and now look at that. We had 27 folks in here at one point. Did we get to 30 today? I mean, I think 50 was our strong point. But this gets more views as we leave it going live. Let's see. Beat is hot on TikTok, I heard. That's from Klaus. Yeah, Beat, although I'm not sure that's Beat's TikTok channel, but people use him as a TikTok video. What was the one where he's like, what you doing, Beat? Nothing? That's the one they use, so. All right. I'm just reading. I think we're going to go ahead and close down today. Oh, no, we're at 30 people, though. Should I keep going? I feel like I should keep going. Has Artie got a pod or doing anything? Sorry, you may have talked about this. What the hell is going on with that man? I believe you'll be hearing from Artie soon. I believe the pod will come back very soon. I would say a couple months. And then we're going to try to get him on the show. That is all I think I really know. I think he's coming back, though, from what I hear. The lurkers need to join this chat and ask you a question. Now, are the lurkers from the Dabbleverse? Is that... I'm not in the Dabbleverse. I don't know anything about it. I know that's the name of it. That's about it. But we'll take some lurkers, sure. Let's see what this does. Just because I'm here. Highlights saved to your channel is unlisted. Okay, I don't know what that means. I don't know what I just did. All right. I'm just playing now because we're live and I haven't done that before. Did you work on the show? I did not work on the show. I only listened to it. Big fan. Just reading the commenters here, folks. I'm over here reading. We're having fun. You should come join. As we did Howard's Turn on the State, and then we all get together and we discuss what we talked about. Hi. I'm not even looking at the camera's over here, right? Okay, now I'm looking at you guys. Do you know what became of Artie's ex, Dana? I don't even know her last name. Was it Turner? What was her last name? That'd be a good one. I don't think she'd do it. I actually used to talk to his sister a lot. Ever think of a landline? I mean, a call-in show. No, I have not thought of that. I don't have a landline. I thought about doing a Zoom thing, though, so maybe via video. So if this group thinks that that's possible, then maybe we'll talk about that. You get Tim Zabian vibes from me. I don't know what that means. Is that good or bad? Ryan is now my new favorite. I finally understand what Ryan's doing. Ryan asked if I want to go to You want to go to Del Frisco's with me and Teddy? Yes, that would be fun. What do I do for a living? I work in what do I do? I do some video work. I do video work for a big bank. It's not fun. This is more fun. I know Dana got married. She did a benefit for Unilive awareness after Artie tried to off himself, all right? It's not bad just to look sort of except you're not overweight. So that's the Tim Sabian thing. All right, well, that's probably the glasses. I mean, that's why, right? I mean, the glasses got to be part of the reason, but thank you for saying I'm not overweight. I believe I am. Bloomies, that was a big moment on the show. Dana went on Chauncey's show no way. Did she really? How did I miss that? When was that? So Dana evidently went on Chauncey's show to talk about the benefit. Chauncey's been a guest here on this program here. The last I saw was Dana on Facebook, and she was pregnant. Oh my goodness, we've got people saying her name here. I don't want to say that, but thank you, Klaus. Maybe I'll look that up. I don't know. I don't. Are you serious? He said Dana got very drunk on Chauncey's show. I'm gonna have to go look this up. I will be very interested to see if that actually happened. Can I get in touch with Chauncey? Of course. Chauncey's been on this program. I have his number. We'll talk to him again. I heard through a mutual friend that Ronnie hates Howard. I believe that. I think Ronnie just, I don't know why Ronnie does it. Chauncey was flirting with Dana. Is that a baby gorilla in your stomach? Hello, baby gorilla. Are you enjoying all the ice cream? Dana is a public figure. Hello, Noel. Are you related to Derek? I think Derek has a podcast, right, Noel? Do you know what I'm talking about? If you do, I wanted to have Derek on this show at one point, a long time ago. I think that's his last name. Once again, I am just reading comments now. Let's see what else is happening here. We're live. We're 45 minutes in. I'm running out of steam. I don't know about you guys. You guys are just typing here. Howard gave Ronnie $1,000 for his wedding. Very cheap. That's true. I mean, that was pretty. I mean, the guy has we drove by his house in Palm Beach, $70 million. Which part are you not making up here, Bill? Let me see. That part? I'm just going back to the comments. All right. I'm going to wrap up today. Another good discussion. Enjoyed it. I'm losing steam. We'll do some more on this date tomorrow, and we'll catch up. You guys all come back. We'll do this right at the same time. And then next week, we'll push it back an hour maybe, and we'll see. Good night, and Baba Booey to you all.